Hey, what's up guys, Fanatic. So today's video is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to take you along for a pre-purchase inspection on a 2015 Alfa Romeo 4C Launch Edition. Now, the reason I feel this video content is relevant is not only because I have a global Alfa Romeo audience that watches my channel, but I do licensed appraisals and inspections on specialty cars for people all over the country and outside the country. And I just want to show you guys some of the things that I pick up on cosmetically and a little bit of detail when I go to inspect a car and I make a general assumption. Now, the particular car that we're going to show you today, I still feel was a very good car. It does have a couple little cosmetic things, but it is an 8-year-old car, and with the lack of service records and a couple of other oddities, the interested buyer did not go forward with the purchase. But I just feel I want to show you guys what I look at, certain things to go over, certain finishes, and certain signs that you should be aware as a consumer, no matter what type of car you're going to buy, because it's an investment. And right now, a lot of people are parking their cash in specialty cars and investment grade cars. And this is a really good example because this is a very, very special car for well under $100,000 right now. And there's not a lot of them on the market. So if you guys are interested in a 4C or any kind of specialty car, check this video out, post your comments below. And if anybody out there possibly is interested in hiring me to inspect the vehicle that you're looking at in auction, online or in person, please reach out through the Auto Fanatic web shop and you could see the different types of listings and services that I offer in the website. This video was shot on the cuff. I got the phone call and I was up in Connecticut already. So all I used was my iPhone Pro and I only had one mount and a roll of duct tape. Hence, you'll see in the dry portion of the video, the 4C is very hard to mount any kind of a camera and still actually, not ruin your visibility. So I duct taped the iPhone to the back rear glass of the car. That's the best view I could possibly get at the time. But the whole point of this video is I want to show you specific areas, what to look for, and to make a better assumption when you go buy a pre-owned car or a new car, sight unseen, or possibly you can't lay your eyes on it. You want to be as transparent as possible, depending on who you're dealing with, because a lot of dealerships will fail to disclose or Photoshop their photos on their website. So please be forewarned. Let's get to the video. Hope you guys enjoy it. So here's the front bumper. Now we got some stone chips, they're random, but there's nothing like really, really big. Down here we have some stone chips. So the whole bumper definitely is pebbled, but it's not terrible. Now, FYI, I just want to give you a heads up. On the Alfa Romeos, I know on the Giulias and the Stelvios, and most likely on this bumper, these grills don't just pop out. A lot of times they're plastic riveted to the bumper, so to do a respray, it's a real pain in the ass, and a lot of guys will just mask it up, and then you're going to get a little bit of a hard line, and possibly the clear coat could start failing depending on how well they taped up the job. So we got some chips there, but it's not terrible. I'll be honest with you, if you're planning on driving the car, I don't think I would make a big deal about it. I don't think it's terrible. We're shooting this in 4K, 60 frames per second, so we got a little stone chip there. A couple of these things look like you could probably do a Dr. Color chip, if you really took the time. If you were going to do that, you're going to have to clay the bumper, do a full paint correction of the bumper, and really, dab it in there, and then wet sand it with 2000. And, it's a process if you really want to go crazy. There's a couple of chips right there, but these aren't terrible. Believe it or not, if this was a 911, it would be, Porsche 911, it would be absolutely destroyed. Got a little, the car needs a good detail. It's got a lot of swirls in it. A lot of little micro scratches. Got a little chip there, right there. Headlights look good. A couple of little marks here, but you could just sand that out and plastic polish that. Not a big deal. Like I said, you can spend some time detailing this on your own. There's no PPF on the car. Not that I could, no, it doesn't feel like there is. These cars should have been PPF from delivery, my personal opinion. Yo. So there's a little rough edge here. Okay, from me feeling it. You know, the problem is you can't pop this open, so there's not much of an inspection I could do as far as that. But it does feel a little rough here, which could indicate some dry spray. Here too, this could just be factory. I mean, these cars were hand built. You can see here, you know, the panel gaps are not perfect. It's Italian. It's not going to ever be perfect. And I mentioned to you, like, you know, the doors, you'll get some chipping over here if the car is driven on some really bad roads. This car is good. I checked both sides. Got a little scratch there. This could definitely be wet sanded and polished. No curb rash on the wheels that I could see. The rotors do have some oxidation, possibly from acid wheel cleaners or New York road salt. Down here, we got a lot of paint pebbling on this section. That's common. You could pop these rockers off and get them resprayed if you really wanted to go crazy. Still has the factory paint protection film. On the door, there's a couple of minor marks, but like I said, the car is driven. It's 8 years old, and a lot of this stuff here is just dirt. I was just rubbing it off. Okay, so this could probably be compounded and polished and brought up to a better level. So everything else from here down is good. There's no chips, no issues. A little scuff right there in the carbon, right there. That could also be wet sanded and polished. Now this car doesn't have the carbon A-pillars, surprisingly. A lot of my friends that have these, they have the removable top. They have the carbon pillars here.
Yes, the Spiders you're able to get with the carbon.
And then they got the carbon on the sides too. So this one doesn't have that. Now look at the door. Got a little nick there, not bad. I checked all the door edges, Dave. Everything is good. I don't feel down here. It's probably a little bit of a touch up on the edge. You know, I'm showing you everything because you're anal like I am. But I still think it's a good car just from looking at it and feeling it around. It definitely was not in an accident. Okay, see the door edge? It's not chipped. There's just like wax buildup. Probably a little bit of a touch up right there. But like I said, you could take a Rupes Ibra Nano and clean all this stuff up, and you could spend a couple of weekends playing around with this. We're on the passenger side. See, here's the carbon fiber tub. Everything looks good. Now, these have factory paint protection film here. So this one is scuffed. You can buy this from Alfa Romeo, or you could have it aftermarket and replace this yourself if you wanted to put a fresh piece in there. Not an issue. So everything else in here looks good. No issues with the hinges, no corrosion. All the bolts, everything's factory. Nothing looks like it was tampered with ever. Okay, got a little dry on the weather stripping. That's common. Nobody really protects this stuff. Weather stripping down here is definitely a little dry. This definitely could use a little bit of a treatment. You know, if you were gonna really go crazy. It's pliable still, but it's definitely dry. So if you don't treat this, it's probably gonna crack. You may want to pick up a new one just to have. Everything's good here, so no seat belt buckles hid inside the jams. These bolts were never removed. All these Torx bolts, everything looks good. A little dry spray up here. Like I said, it's definitely factory, the way these cars were sprayed. Okay, now we'll get into the interior in a minute, but let me just show you. So everything looks good here. A few little scuffs on the aluminum, anodized aluminum panel there. Nothing crazy. This seat looks like it was barely ever sat in. A little leather mark there, probably a fingernail of a wife scratching the car trying to get the seatbelt on. But yeah, I don't think too many wives or girlfriends were driving in this car. Dashboard's perfect, no issues, no delamination, no shrinkage of leather. Everything looks good on this side. No scuffs, a little scuff right here on the plastic. See that? Nothing too crazy. So, all right, we're gonna go around the other side in a minute. All right, Dave, here's the back wheel. So we have a little damage there on this passenger side rear wheel. You got a little nick in the composite rocker panel back here, most likely from a rock. You know, it's gonna be common. If you're gonna drive the car, it's gonna happen. There's nothing you can do about that. A little scratch right here in the rim. this might be something maybe you would want to replace. Lug nuts do have some corrosion on them. These have the hot dipped galvanized finish. So this car probably, from looking at it, was probably driven maybe in some salt, and acid wheel cleaners will do this probably within 1 or 2 years. A little corrosion there on the tie rod. It's not terrible though. But yeah, that definitely, I would just change those out, the lug bolts. Down here, little touch-ups. Go around to the back bumper. Now, Andrew, there's no marks in the back bumper, right? No, it looks good.
The only thing
Oh,
I
right.
saw was right there.
It's got a little bit. Dave, that could be buffed out very easily. And then we have,
Yeah,
what is this? That could probably come out too. Yeah, you hit that with 4,000 Trizac, zap that, that'll come right out. No issues with that. So it just needs a real good paint correction. Okay, this looks good here. Okay, all the gaps are good. They're tight, tighter than most cars. That's just the way these cars were built. So now we're on the driver's side. Got some chips stacked back here, back into here. And this wheel is good. There's no curb rash. Just that one passenger side rear. Over here, you got the typical rash, you know. Like I said, the car's been driven. Hasn't been driven a lot, but it doesn't take much for these things to throw rocks up. This carbon fiber piece is good. There's no cracks, no damage. Everything looks good there. Everything looks good here. Now, this is interesting. These factory stickers are all kind of wrinkled up. Not sure why the VIN number and this sticker would do that. I know on the older Ferraris that are 30, 40 years old, that's common, but on a car that's only 8 years old, that, scratching my head on that one. When I was in the showroom, this has a lot of micro scratches, so this needs to just be polished out, you know, real carefully, this whole panel. I said these bolts are fresh, never taken out, no issues there, no issues with the striker plate. Same thing with the weather stripping on the other side. You got a little chip right there, a little chip right there. That's from the seat belt, you know, whacking the car when you get in. This side looks good. Same thing here. The carbon's got some scuffs from the shoes. Same thing. Just get a Rupes Iber Nano with a wool pad and zap this out quick. It's done. No issues with that. But yeah, it looks good. Everything looks good on this side. Yeah, the door straps are good. There's no corrosion. There's no wiggle. See that? I'm pulling on the door. Everything's tight still. All right, so here we are on the driver's side door panel. Like I said, all these little marks, Dave, you can just hit that with a light polish and a yellow pad, and it's probably gonna just take it all off. It's just age. Got a little white discoloration on this rubber trim, and on this, I would just use a Cerakote trim pad, which is that ceramic trim pad. I actually did a video on that recently on my channel. So I would just clean that up and put the Cerakote, and that's fine. A little nick right there, but other than that, you know, the door's not beat up. It's just a little dirty. That's it. It's the driver's side door edge. Yeah, everything's good. Just on the passenger side, looks like there might have been a little touch up on 2 spots, but not a huge deal. Little surface rust right there in that bolt. Okay, let's go into the engine bay.
The car cover, I have to double check on the Charger, but we have the cover here. We have the tire inflation kit and toolkit. Okay. Then we have the.
Do you have any of the press materials from the launch edition? Oh, it came with it. Okay, you got the owner's kit. Good, that's important.
So this we have. You still have both.
Let's see what we got. I have those for my cars too.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
So certificate. The original
yeah, that's
letter,
important. Yeah, you definitely.
And both of the letters.
Yeah, I got those too. I don't know what this. That's all. It didn't give you anything else. Just those two.
So we have this, and then there is the something else next door. Second key and the original books.
Okay. Do you have any service history on it?
We do not.
You don't. Okay. So there's no service history on the car.
Just what we've done.
Just what you guys have done. Okay. Fuel filler. Everything looks good. Okay. There's passenger side door. Got a little scuff in the leather there. Definitely from girlfriend or wife kicking it with their high heels. And same thing with the rubber, so it's just like the other side. You could definitely clean this up. Use a little mineral spirits and then put some of that coating on there and you'll be good to go. So overall, it looks pretty good. Like I said, it's, you know, 8-year-old car. It's got only 5,000 miles, but it still looks like a good car. Cool. And there's no damage on the hatch area, right? No, nothing. That's one little nick right there. That's probably from someone with a prop rod or a fingernail. See that?
Yeah, now.
Right there. It's minor. It's minor. Dynamic connected. All right. When we're ready to roll. Okay, one first gear. Make a right?
Yep, we're gonna go to the stoplight, make a right, and then make a left.
Okay. It's like a little fun go-kart. It really is. Yeah, the exhaust sounds good on this car. A lot of my friends have these. We changed the custom exhaust and intakes and tunes. And it sounds pretty good. So yeah, that turbo kicks in. This thing's got some power. Front end feels good. A lot of these are all over the road because of bad alignments. This one doesn't feel bad. I mean, look how easy it is to drive. No power assist.
Here.
Okay. So it broke the tires because the tires are old. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about this car is the paddles. I think they're too small. You know, I'm so used to quadrifolios and Ferraris where they're big long paddles on the column. So it takes me a little to get used to these. Yeah, she's tracking pretty good. A little trim line, but not bad. There's no other car like it that's ever going to be made at this price bracket.
No.
Unless you get, the new Maserati MC20, it's 300 grand.
Yeah. And that's one of the next cheapest options to get a carbon tub car.
Yeah, exactly.
There's only one car that I know that's less expensive than this and has a carbon chassis.
Which one?
BMW i3.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Everything else, you're going into MC20, 720S carbon tub, 918.
Yeah, this thing's got some power. There's a big difference between going into dynamic mode and the other modes. Because when the car's brand new, you can't get into dynamic mode. It doesn't allow you to. Brakes feel good. No issues with that. Oh, Black Series. Look at that. Somebody traded that in?
Yep.
Oh, that thing is freaking sweet. Alright, cool. Well, Dave, if you don't buy it, maybe I'll buy it. Because I freaking like this car a lot. And this thing is sweet. It's so, it's so easy to drive.
They are.
Like, I can't get into a Lotus.
No.
The Lotus, I just can't get into them.
It's the hardest thing that I've had to get in and out of. It's the one thing that I've done, like the unproud, scoop my butt over the sill and push myself back. This is easy to get in and out. Comparable to an Exige or an Elise.
Exactly.